What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Dirty Degens. I am your degenerate host, Josh, and tonight I've got a good one for you because the market is picking back up. Tomorrow, Daddy Powell's going to bless us with a rate cut. Everybody's going to cheer, but not only that, we're looking at a meme coin ETF coming back soon, and that could be exactly what we need for meme season to kick off. And I misspoke. Not a meme coin ETF coming back soon. The first meme coin ETF coming in. So let's dive into all that and more and just have a good old time. And hopefully I will show you the next two 100x gainers. Let's go. Starting off though, like I said, Bitcoin is happy because we're probably going to have that rate cut tomorrow. If we don't, there's probably going to be riots in the streets. We're going to have TradFi guys burning down Powell, and yeah, it's just going to be bad. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have a rate cut tomorrow. The odds are over 90%. There's a slim chance that we get an extra big rate cut, but I think we're going to stay with that 25 BP cut. I don't really expect anything super crazy. I'm not expecting a 50 BP cut or anything, but if we do, the markets would definitely react well. Now, there is an interesting fact that I came across today. Did you know that basically over the course of history, if a rate cut happens when the market is towards the peak, it's like 100% chance that in the next year, the markets will go up 15% more. Now we're talking about traditional markets. Obviously, if you're talking about Bitcoin, you're like 15%. Who cares? We move more than that in an hour some days. It doesn't even matter. But the traditional market moves and goes up 15%, 100% of the time. So this is a very bullish thing. It's not bullish all around, but hey, for us traders and us involved in markets, it is definitely a bullish thing. There's also some other bullish things going on for Bitcoin though. Just today, there was like 18 different crypto industry leaders in DC for the Treasury Council push to adopt Bitcoin as a national strategic reserve. Now, how far that has gotten so far, we won't really hear, but you had Brian Armstrong, Fred Thiel, Michael Saylor, Jason Less from Riot, a bunch of other different people that are just giants in the space, advocating for Bitcoin and trying to push it as a national reserve. So that's also pretty bullish. And, you know, you've got also the Crypto Council and stuff for Trump that are all saying that they want it to happen. They're trying to push it through, and it looks like it's going to happen. So hopefully, if not, is it really the end of the world? We don't need the government to buy Bitcoin for Bitcoin to succeed. It's gotten this far after 13 years. I don't think that we need the U.S. to make it a reserve currency in order to succeed. Honestly, I kind of think it defeats the purpose of it, but you know, that's just me. I'll leave those opinions to myself. Now, speaking about Coinbase and Brian Armstrong, though, I've obviously been a fan of Base and been trading Base and Base memes and other Base projects for like a year and a half now. I've traded many of them. I've gotten you guys involved in many of them. I talk about Medicaid and Toshi and all these other ones. But there's a lot of people that have had no interest in Base because it doesn't have its own token. Now, for somebody that actually likes Ethereum and stuff like that, it makes total sense that you want to gain Ethereum, right? But a lot of people don't like that. Even George from Cryptos R Us, he wasn't a big fan of Base because there wasn't a token. But what we have now is Coinbase is coming out and saying that Base is exploring issuing a token to help its decentralization. Now, this isn't a big thing because, oh my God, Base is going to get a token. The reason why it's a big thing is because when they're doing something like this, the likelihood of an airdrop from network participants over the last, year and a half is amazingly huge, very huge. So it's all the more reason to stay in there, honed in on those Base ecosystem meme coins and projects, utility plays, whatever it may be, and just be involved, whether you're trading on Aerodome, Uniswap, it doesn't really matter. Just be involved in the Base ecosystem. And if they do end up doing something like that, it's likely you get a piece of that pie. But the other thing is too, they've got no idea when this is going to happen. It's just that simple. It could be this year, it could be next year, or it could just never happen. It really doesn't matter, but it is bullish that Base is looking at coming out with a token. Now, there are big reasons why they may not end up doing so, but we'll get more into that because of some other things that are going on. But originally, it was really due to the conflict of interest, right? You got the SEC cracking down on crypto tokens and everything like that. You've got Coinbase, which is a regulated and publicly traded company. The last thing they want to do is screw themselves because they decided to launch a token for their layer 2 chain. But with how the market temperature and regulation temperature and everything has changed, apparently they feel like that's an okay option. And I'm here for it. It's just going to be really interesting to see how it all boils down. What else is really interesting is that now you have Google collaborating with Coinbase so that you can make payments with stablecoins. I think that's awesome. I think that's beautiful. I personally am a die by the sword type of guy. So like I'm paid in fiat currency, but I pay my bills and I move everything into crypto. I would rather just move everything into crypto and take care of it from there. So I hope that this happens really soon. I think this is bullish for the entire crypto space. And not only that, ultimately us degens that we want to bet big on a shit coin, let it pump, take our profits, pay a bill, and still be in there and pumping, right? I mean, that's what I like to do. I'm a pure filthy degenerate though. So careful. Don't get too crazy. Aside from that, though, I meant to talk about this earlier, but CNBC reported, 18 industry members have gathered in Washington for the strategic bill. So big deal. Yeah, you've got Tom Lee there, Michael Saylor, like I said, and all these others. Cynthia Loomis doesn't count. She is a regulator, but crazy. Now, what else is crazy, though, is Donald Trump is actually suing the New York Times for $15 billion for slander and all that other crap. But basically, at the core of it, all about the Trump meme coin. And this is because in the beginning, when he first launched it, there were people that were saying, like Justin Sun and others, that were saying the whole reason why they were trying to secure such a big bag was so that they could try to get the president's ear to pass some sort of legislation or something like that. So basically, they're using it as bribery, right? And I don't think that's been the case thus far. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a part of any of these backroom deals or anything, but I don't think that's really been the case. Here we go. May 12th report. Certain buyers in interviews and statements have said they bought the coins or entered the dinner contest with the intention of securing an action by Mr. Trump to affect United States policy. What a wild thought you have there, sir. But no, it is crazy because really, what this is showing is that, one, it's okay to launch a meme coin or a token. And two, if you attack me for it, I'm going to fuck you. So, hey, if Trump wins this over, and honestly, New York Times and Bloomberg and stuff, they've been doing a lot of incredibly sketchy shit lately. So it's about time one of them get it. And hey, maybe this will be it. But I think it's crazy. You've got the Trump suing New York Times for $15 billion over his meme coin. That's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Also, there was something crazy I was going to pull up about GME, but I think it was incorrect. I meant to close this out, but it is a little bit crazy. Basically, there was a plethora of uncovered calls on GME in South Korea, and South Korea came out and said they had to shut all those down. Not the original and real GME, which this one is, but apparently some GME token nuked like 98%. I couldn't find it. They made it sound like it was the real one. And obviously it wasn't, because this hasn't nuked 98% in a long time. So it's not this one, but I meant to close out that tab, but that's why it was open. Now, what is crazy, though, that could actually start meme mania, meme season for us entirely, is this. Dogecoin ETF is expected to debut in 2 days. So we're looking at potentially on Thursday having our first Dogecoin ETF. And let me put this into perspective for you a little bit. We have currently an Ethereum and a Bitcoin spot ETF. We don't have XRP, we don't have Solana, we don't have SWI, we don't have Aptos or Hedera or any of these other ones that have applied. However, Dogecoin, which has no intrinsic value and provides no utility, is earmarked to launch first. Of all of these ETF applications, it is the only one to not have yet been delayed. The others have been pushed out to November. So, we keep on pushing that marker back. But it looks like it's extremely likely that we're going to get this Dogecoin ETF. And that could be exactly what we need to start Memecoin Mania. I mean, if that's not a giant thumbs up green flag waving in the wind, I really don't know what to tell you is, because that is going to be insane. And Dogecoin has been actually doing pretty well lately, but nothing insane. It definitely could. Apparently, the market has an appetite. According to Eric Balcanas, I'm terrible with that name apparently, who is the senior ETF analyst at Bloomberg, he states that it's not being passed because they think it's a great product or anything, but basically because of the market demand. And it's not market demand from us retail investors. It's definitely not us that's swaying the SEC to buy or to launch the Dogecoin ETF. It's institutional investors that are making this decision happen, right? They're the ones that are swaying the market makers and NASDAQ and SEC and everybody to try and tell them that this should happen. So obviously there's going to be a huge appetite there for this to come before XRP or Solana or SWI or, literally anything else. It's not that I'm anti-Doge. I talk about Doge all the time. It's just we have Bitcoin and Ethereum, 2 spot ETFs currently. We have a Solana one by a roundabout way, but not really. I don't count that one on there at all. But to have the Dogecoin one before anything else is pretty wild. And I see Skipping Stones say Bonk is on Thursday too. It is, yeah. But I've seen I didn't bring that one up because there has been some speculation that one is supposed to be delayed and it just was like something was screwed up. I don't know. It was a little weird. But if we get Bonk and Doge on Thursday before any other spot ETF that's in the pipeline, insane. Just completely insane. And something else I actually don't have. Well, before I'll show this, this just shows the corporate appetite for Dogecoin that's currently going on. Clean Core Solutions, which I told you guys about the day that it first launched. They launched their Dogecoin reserve and they dropped like 64%. But since then, they don't give a fuck. They're continuing to accumulate, and they have accumulated over 600 million in Doge, or 600 million Doge. But by October, they're aiming to have 1 billion Doge, and they want to have 5% of the circulating supply. If they actually hold that number and they stick to it, and they always want to have 5% of the circulating supply, let me remind you of something. Doge is an uncapped supply. There is unlimited potential for Doge in terms of supply. I'm not saying that's a good thing. We're saying it's highly inflationary, but at the same time, these guys are just going to keep buying it up. So does it really matter at that point? I don't really think so. But back to Bonk, though. There is Bonk, actually, it was like September 1st or something like that. They're also partnered with USD1, which is World Liberty Financial, for their Bonk Fund Memecoin launch platform, so that people can launch meme coins using USD1. If you look at Bonk Fund, if you look at Pump Fund, if you look at Bags and all these other ones, you have to use the host token to launch these tokens. But now with Bonk Fund, hey, you can launch them with USD1, I guess. Why not? You want to take your stable coins and do that? You can. But speaking about Pump Fund, Bonk Fund, and all of those, this is another sign that meme mania is coming back. And also, it's really weird. This web page is like tinted blue for me, and it's like throwing me off. I feel like I'm tripping or something. It's crazy. But for months now, Pump Fund's revenue has been slashed. Its activity has been slashed, down like 70%. Volume slash. Sorry, excuse me. When I talk a lot, apparently I get chest gas. I don't know what's going on, man. Maybe I should get that checked out. But their volume gets slashed and everything. Their revenue's down like 70%. Their volume's down like 80%. And daily trading volume was down quite a lot. And if you look here, though, we managed to get a little bit of a pop. So for the first time since July, the daily volume reached over $1 billion. Now, that is largely for a very specific reason. They have pulled up creator revenue, and they have created a flywheel mechanism so that the revenue they generate, they're buying and burning the tokens. They're creating a reason for people to be there. Now, I know it makes sense. Like, Josh, why don't you just go stream there? You probably, I don't make anything doing this. Actually, hold up. That's not true. I'll get to that. But so we've had Crypto Banter, we've had Alex Becker, we've had Discover Crypto, and even Cryptos Are Us that have appeared on Pump.fun. And it's definitely working for them. And as of that, that is what created the revenue or the volume on pump.fun. It shows that there is still an appetite for this, but I'm telling you, Pump Fun is still a complete cesspool. I'm not going there and trading. I've bought 2 tokens ever on Pump Fun, and I'm going to tell you about one of them tonight. So one of them was like a year ago. One of them was yesterday. And if you were in my Telegram, you already caught it. But now what I do have to tell you about, because like there's this elephant in the room up here. You guys see that? You guys see that up there? Right there? I'm proud to say I am now sponsored by Stray Dog. So Stray Dog is sponsoring the stream from here and until further notice, until they change their mind. It is the one way that I do actually make a little bit of money streaming. But hey, I love the guys over there. I love the project. I love the team. What's great about working with projects like this and like working with Stray Dog is that I don't have to sacrifice anything. I don't have to sacrifice my values. I don't have to sacrifice my opinion. I don't have to lie. Nothing. It's a project I believe in. It's a team I believe in. It's a community I love. And so I just get to be honest about it. So big thank you to Stray Dog for sponsoring the stream and being in my corner, because I do have quite a bit that I want to talk about with Stray Dog, because Stray Dog has been doing quite well. Now, I know you say, oh, it's been chilling, it's up and down, but it is a meme coin. And guess what? Meme season is just getting started, like we're talking about. So don't be surprised. But this token is holding so well. And there's so much attention on it from all over the place. The team is doing incredible things to bring activity and cooperation and everything like that. And I've got a feeling a lot of big things are coming. But there could be a good amount of things that you've actually missed due to that. So I'm going to show you some new things that are happening. Some of it maybe you caught already, but maybe you didn't connect the dots properly. Now, one thing that is most important when it comes to a meme coin is visibility, right? If nobody knows who the hell you are, nobody's going to buy your token, right? If the word's not getting out and getting spread, nobody's going to buy your token. So the most important thing is getting your name out there, getting your image out there, and just being known, and hopefully as a positive force, right? Obviously, like, you can go the hate route, and that's not good. But you want to be known for the right thing. So what they have now is they've got their MVS, Most Valuable Strays contest. So basically, they're running weekly competitions for rating. And you've got the top 3 winners of every week, the top 3 strays. They get special tags, prizes, and other things. Now, the first one is already done, but unless I'm mistaken and I'm just speaking out my ass, they are going to run another one. But this one just ended yesterday, and there's 10 winners actually. So they said top 3, but they just go above and beyond. So we've got 10 winners. I didn't actually add up how much all of this is. It looks like it's probably like $400 or $500, right? Like, well, there's 100. Yeah, so it's like $400. But still, you're getting what's important about this is it's a internal mechanism to entice people to spread the word and create value and reward them for it, right? This is important. And more projects should do things like this. They try to, and they fail. Everybody tries to use those ready-made bots, and people game the system, and then you just lose all your money, and it's a lose-lose situation. But the bot that they're using is actually custom built for them. So what you have to do, anybody can do this. You go to their Telegram, you connect to the bot. You don't even have to connect your X to the bot. Basically, it shoots you a code. You tweet it out. It sees that that's real and that is actually you. And then you can actually even delete that tweet. It doesn't matter. And then all you have to do is engage with the Stray Dog coin account, or, memes and stuff like that. Not just GM and all that bullshit, like legitimate engagement and legitimate posts and everything. And, you might be at the top of the pack. Look, we've got them in here right now. Here's our number 1 winner of the week. So they're real people and they're making it. Actually, I actually don't know most of these people. I know Killionaires. I know Shiba Inu. I know Asnal. Yeah, I don't know the rest. So that's what I'm saying. It's great. This is a good way to get people engaged without having to spend a fortune or without having to run a massive marketing campaign and actually caring about your community, right? You could go pay a marketing campaign and have that all done and everything, and nobody's going to pay any attention to it because they know it's a major shill. But when it's coming from the community and it actually feels organic, and it is organic, but it just has a different type of vibe to it, right? So I love this initiative. I think it's very positive, and that's not all that they have going though, because they have already mentioned that they've sponsored the Cape Coral Youth Soccer Association. So that's already kicked off. I didn't pull that up, but they also have another partnership with humaneworld.org. So they supported with $1,000 donation to them. I guess my only thought is it too early to donate to charity? But it's a good cause. So why not? Either way, it's a stray dog doing positive things in the world and a positive things for their community, for the space as a whole. So I think it's a win-win-win, right? It's that simple. And then now I can't be the only motherfucker talking about stray dog. You know, I've got like 30 of you guys listening to me right now. So I can't be the only person talking about it. So Stray Dog has also managed to accomplish gathering some more ambassadors and people to spread the word that are actually have value in their word and are going to bring the proper attention. I'm telling you guys, right now we're looking at Stray Dog and it's 2.7 million, and this is undervalued. Incredibly undervalued. Everything that's going on behind the scenes, the things that I think are about to come, and not only that, the people that are talking about it means that this is incredibly undervalued. I am picking Stray Dog as 100x. I think it's a no-brainer. If it hits 10 mil, it's going to 200 mil. So I definitely think that we will see 100x from Stray Dog. But there's a lot of good reasons for it, and I've been breaking them down to you. But Link is a huge meme coin influencer on X. And now Link actually joined Stray Dog as the first ambassador. I didn't pull up the first the ambassador post just because they actually just made this post like 5-6 hours ago. So, you know, they say I've seen 1,000 meme coins, most rug, most bag, most die. But this one Stray Dog hits different. So AI meme and gift generators are live now. No team tokens. Only diamond-handed syndicate holders. Pack rates harder than anything out there. Not financial advice, just facts. Now, Link has 287,000 followers. They do spaces almost every single day. They get crazy engagement and impressions on their posts. And guess what? They're bull posting Stray Dog. And they're just the tip of the iceberg, right? They're going to help break into some of the masses. But then that obviously can't be enough, because why not? You need somebody like Papa Stonks in your corner too. This is somebody that's super well connected, and this was the second announced ambassador for Stray Dog. And they've got insane connections all around the crypto space, whether it's with utility projects or meme coins. They're on multiple spaces a day. They're bringing up Stray Dog, and they're getting them in front of the eyes of investors. And not only that, projects that might want to collaborate and everything else. So incredibly bullish that Stray Dog is being extremely selective about who they pick for their ambassadors, and the right choices most of all, because you need people that will actually move the needle and actually make an impact, right? You don't want somebody that's just going to throw out a tweet and say, look at Stray Dog. Every dog needs a home. That's not going to do anything. You need somebody that's going to show up every single day, good or bad, and actually move the needle and actually be able to connect with people, right? So I think Stray Dog's doing very, very good there. Now, there is one last thing I do want to touch on, because I actually think it's the most important thing of all. We've already seen that Shib commented, deja vu, we were here once, or we were once Stray too, right? But it just makes you think that there's so many other big projects looking at Stray Dog, right? They've got the notice of Link. They've got Papa Stonks. They've got Crypto Pulse, right? With Cryptos R Us. They've got Shib talking about them. So who else is looking at Stray Dog? What else is the team doing in the background to potentially push this to the next level, right? And I think that this is all just the culmination leading up to something absolutely insane. And that's why I think that Stray Dog is easily one of the top picks for this time of the market. You know, I'm not going to say like of all meme coins and everything like that, but I definitely think it is one of the best picks there are, and it's incredibly undervalued. Crypto Pulse has posted about him like 6 or 7 times. George has talked about him on his stream. He's talked about him in his Discord. You've got other influencers looking at him, and some of the biggest meme coin influencers in the entire space looking at Stray Dog, and not to mention the biggest meme coin, well, other than Doge, in the entire space. So I think it's going to be incredible. I think that if you guys are still waiting, by the time it's time, you're going to say, damn, I'm too late. And guess what? You're not too late. You're definitely not too late now. This is not a $5 million project. This is a $200 million project, a $500 million project. And it's just getting started. It's only been out for what? 22 days. 22 days. And it's already got Shib, Cryptos R Us, Link, Papa Stonks, and all these others talking about them. I think it's just getting started. But I did tell you I had two. So I got 2 picks. Now this one's going to be a little bit weird. You're going to be like, what the fuck are you? What are you trying to tell me here? But again, so I brought this up in my Telegram this morning. I retweeted the post yesterday. I wasn't too sure what was going to happen or how it was going to do. And no, I have not been asked to talk about this token, but I'm going to rationalize with you why I think it's going to do well. So this is George plays Clash Royale. George didn't ask me to talk about this. Hell, I think George forgets I even stream half the time. So don't think anything like that. He doesn't support my streams or nothing. So I'm just talking about this because I see an opportunity for all of you. But George plays Clash Royale. He launched this on Pump Fun because guess what? George is bored of always streaming crypto. And he enjoys playing games and he enjoys hanging out with people, just like how I do. I like coming in and hanging out with you guys. So he decided that as he does his Clash Royale, he loves Clash Royale, that stupid game on your phone where you like drop the units and they attack each other. And, you know, it's like 2 minutes, you're out and you're into the next game. He likes that one. So he's been streaming that on one of his side channels. And then he was like, oh, what if I did it on Pump Fun? Well, lo and behold, last night he made a token and hey, it's actually doing pretty well. I mean, in terms of all things considered, right? It's a good looking chart. It's at 360K. Now, why is this a good buy? I mean, George plays Clash Royale. Like, what the hell? So, George has a lot of plans for this. He's actually going to, he's already doing a tournament this week with it. He might be token gating some things, but he's going to stream 5 days a week for this token. Now, mind you, George has alerted the world about F2 pool dumping on everybody in 2021. George alerted the world about the Lunaterra collapse. George alerted the world about the Celsius collapse. There are so many people that trust and believe in George, and it's all around the world. All around the world, people love, trust, and believe George. Now, he's not going to sell his tokens, and he holds 5.04% of the tokens, as we can see. Now, if George actually streams like hour and a half a day, 5 days a week, and he's streaming 15 hours a week, and he does that for a while, now you tell me you think that this isn't going to go to 35 mil. I think that's an easy bet there for it to go to 35 mil. If George is utilizing this as a utility so that he can interact with his fans and also just so he can have fun, which means he's going to enjoy it and keep pushing it and keep doing it, I think there's a good opportunity here. So that's why I wanted to bring it up. I definitely think that, especially as people realize, because last night I tuned in, I didn't want to stream about it and everything at first because I was worried. You know, a lot of times with these Pump Fund tokens, and especially the ones that people are streaming about, they skyrocket and then you stop streaming and they go to zero. But we can see right here. Let's see, where's our circle? Where's my circle? I forget. Can you tell I never do this shit? Here we go. Circle. There we go. So that's where he started stream and he ended stream here. And we had a little dip down to 145, 150 or so. And it's just been like basically up all day. This candle right here was actually crazy. This person dumped 15,000 in one rip. It dumped down to 223 and climbed back up. So it's been doing quite well. Currently, he's got 3,400 people in his Discord that he's talking to about it. He's about to go live again for this token in a half hour. So I definitely think there's a good opportunity here. I'm not saying that you should buy it. I'm not saying that you should spend a ton of money. Oh, look, he also streamed on it today too. I didn't even know that. So yeah, I definitely think if he's going to remain being active on this, continue talking about it, and actually going to figure out a way to utilize it with his community, there's a good opportunity here. We're talking about one of the most trusted influencers in all of crypto that is launching a token to interact with his fan. So I think it's super bullish, and I'll just show you guys because you may as well see how all of these other meme coins go when they get launched. So here's Becker's, right? Becker launched this token, and look, he did actually stream 3 times today on it, surprisingly. But look, it did nothing for it because they know he's just trying to pump the token. But it rocketed up to almost 20 million. And then as soon as he was done, it fell all the way down to 2.5 million. They're not the only ones. Banter streamed. So we got Banter test coin here 1 day ago. It's currently at 296K. Banter actually bundled their meme coin. So Banter rugged their community. This is why I'm saying it's completely different with George, right? Banter actually rugged their community. They bundled the token. You can find the bundle yourself and you can go look at it. It ran up to 3.5 million and they dumped the ever living shit out of it. And now it's currently at 296,000. If you need more convincing about what Banter does with these, let's pull up Gummy. Let's zoom this out because it's been out long enough. Look at that. Gummy. That was supposed to be one of their most prized possessions there. They were going to run that token forever. Baked. This was another one. Also Banter. Look at that one. Right? You've got max extractors that are doing this. And hey, guys, I'm not done yet. Man, am I going to find it? DC. Frick. We can pull it up quick. I know how. Discover Crypto also streamed on Pump Fund today, launched a token, and it looks like they did the exact same thing. I actually didn't dig into it to look to see if they bundled it like Banter did, but their chart looks just as bad, if not worse. But hey, look, they are actually, at least on the dev wallet, they're buying the dip, I guess. They bought $23.80 there. They bought 118 there, 466 there. Their first buy. Now, if they didn't bundle it, they're like heavy underwater. I mean, not really. They got the creator fees, which would be like $90,000 or so from this amount of volume, because the volume was 1.2 million. So the creator fees are on a sliding scale depending on the size of the project, right? So like if it's between like 100K and like 375K, it's around like 0.9%. And when it starts getting up towards that million mark, it's like 0.03%. But like between 400K and like 800K, it's like 6.6% or something. So basically, you know, about 0.8% or so you can say is creator fees if you boil it down. So they got like 80K. So they're not really too worried about that. But their first buy, they did buy $12,500 of their token. But because of that, they also owned a ton of the supply. So that was pretty stupid. But look, the same exact thing. Just complete pump up, go to zero, right? And that's why I'm saying you could just see the day and night difference and why I'm saying this could actually have some legs, because this chart looks absolutely nothing like that. Now, there was one last thing I want to share with you because I think it's really important. I saw this today, and you had a user that lost $1 million to a Mev bot after a mistaken transaction. Now, anybody can lose money to a Mev bot. The most skilled traders can lose money. The newest traders, or somebody that's just trying to do a casual swap. Anybody can lose money to a Mev bot. But I'm going to tell you that almost every single tool or wallet that you use has a protection built in so that you don't have to be one of these people. Now, I use Rabby, and they have a special, let's see if I can show you guys it. It's not coming up. They have an anti-Mev RPC node that you can choose to enable, and it basically sends your transaction there. So it's private, and then it gets sent out. So that way Mev can't see it and front run it, right? Now, I know that like MetaMask, I think they just recently implemented that. You also have options built into some of your tools like Banana Gunbot and these other ones, right? So I'm just saying you need to keep a good eye on that. If you have that tool available to you, you should definitely use it. But not only that, what really it boils down to is your slippage. Even if you're just doing a casual trade and like you're trying to trade, $1,000 or whatever, and it doesn't matter if it's a $100,000 project, $1,000,000, or whatever. It's typically when they're smaller. When they're smaller, though, it's not so much like the $1 billion projects and stuff, because you have to be able to make the price move in order for this to happen. But if you tighten your slippage a bit and you're not trading at 30% slippage, it's very unlikely that you get meved. If you trade with 3 to 5% slippage, it's very unlikely. Now, if you're at 30, 40%, like I said, it's extremely likely that you're going to get meved. So be smart, tighten your slippage unless you're sniping something or trying to buy at launch, and use your anti-mev protection tools that are available to you. And hopefully you don't lose $1 million to a mev bot. Dude, could you imagine getting bent over by Jared from Subway for $1 million? Oh my God. Other than that, guys, that is about everything I had that I wanted to share with you. I'm down to hang out, have a good old time. Drop what you want me to check out. I'm going to check out chat. Let's hang out for a few. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Let's see. Chester says, Powell pump incoming. Yeah, buddy. Market's picking back up. Cass with Sass says, Tom Lee was there too. Mark Anthony, I never knew what the crown thing meant before, but now that I'm looking at it, because my crown is gone, it's the top 3 fans. I'm coming for my crown back, people. All right, Mark, it's nice to see you back, my man. It was quiet here without you. Let's see. Out of all the best known memes, where would I drop a bar tab plus? Well, I am biased because I love me some ticker Bitcoin. I love me some ticker Bitcoin. And they are down right now quite a bit. Yeah, they're like around 80 mil. Yeah, they're at 80 mil right now. Man, they're going to have such a big come up. It's going to be crazy. I'm really bullish on the ticker Bitcoin community. They're unhinged. It's not for everybody, but super bullish on them. Who else? I think Fartcoin will have another big run. I'm not like a huge Fartcoin bull, but like I think Fartcoin's going to have another big run, at least back up to all-time high. And it's at 843 mil now. Its all-time high is 2.1? Yeah, 2.1. So I'm bullish on Fartcoin for that. I'm bullish on Pudgy Penguins in general. So Pudgy Penguins for sure. They're doing pretty solid though. I think they're up towards all-time high anyways. They're not too far off. Their all-time high is at a solid 2.7. They're at 2.13. They're doing really good. They're a mixture though. They're not a true meme coin. Honestly, with the Doge ETF coming right now, can't really go wrong there. You don't have any Doge trusts or anything like that. So anybody that you don't have to worry about the Doge ETF going live and people just dumping Doge, at least not institutions or institutional traders or TradFi or anything like that dumping Doge, because first they have to buy it. So it's not like when Grayscale takes a trust, converts it into an ETF, and they just start offloading it like crazy, right? Completely different. I do think that we'll see an influx of buyers, but the thing is you're buying Doge at a $40 billion market cap. So like, how high is it really going to go? I don't really think it's going to do that, but like if you want a safe bet, I could see that being a safe bet. I'm also bullish on SNEC. If we want to go off chain a little bit and look at something different, SNEC's on Cardano, the biggest meme coin on Cardano, also the only Cardano token with tier 1 listings. So that's also bullish because nobody really wants to go use Cardano, but they want to buy some SNEC. So bullish on that. Toshi, my favorite meme coin on Base. Brett doesn't even belong here. It should just be removed. Toshi should be the #1 meme coin on Base currently. I mean, as far as like big meme coins that we know about, those are like my favorite ones, really. Can't really go wrong with SHIB and Pepe. Honestly, a lot of these you can't go wrong with. Trump, it's not a buy. SPX, it's good. I like SPX. I think SPX is a $2 billion coin. I don't think that it has the Murad heat in it that everybody thinks that it does, though. Like, I don't think this is going to Doge levels or anything like that. Also, the community's pretty weird. It's like ticker Bitcoin, except weirder. Joe says, screw pump fun. I'm with you there. Love the new banner. Let's go. Let's see. Stray's running wild. They in here tonight. Up and to the right. I don't know what he was talking about, but let's go. Send it up to the right. Man, I'm just not going to hold that one open. I'd buy $100 of Andrew. I'd buy $100 of Andrew Tate coin every day. Consecutively stay silent. Never buys anything. That's funny. I got meved on one of my stray buys from Subway Jared. Dude, it feels bad. Thoughts on the Pepe D pre-sale? So not for me. I guarantee you I'll find an article about it though. So let's look at it. Where's the article? Wow. They've been doing this for a while. PepeDollar.io. How are they're doing their pre-sale? Yeah, I've seen this one. Yeah, I stay away from this shit. They've been doing this pre-sale for like 2 months. It's crazy. So yeah, an ETH layer 2. Yeah, no, I think this is a huge no. I don't like it at all. I actually any day of the week you can go find a Pepe pre-sale that's being shilled across sponsored articles all across the internet and everything, and they all go to zero. It's like that book of meme. Boom. Let's pull that up. Oh, wow, they're actually up. But they launched, yeah, look, they launched at like $1.5 billion market cap. Oh, I'm sorry, 1.14. I was in Dubai when this launched, and I bought in on the pre-sale and completely lost my ass. And this is what happens to all of them. I can't believe this one's still holding at 147 million, but I don't trust them. You never know what can happen. Now, if you think it's super hyped up, oh shit, I'm not even showing my screen. My bad. So I Googled Pepe D pre-sale, came up here with what we're talking about, and then I went to the link, and then this one, investing.com, gave me the link to the website. So now we're in here. Apparently they're also on CoinMarketCap already too as a pre-listing. Let's see about that. Yeah, they are here as a pre-listing. Last post was 4 weeks ago. But yeah, I stay far away from these. What I was trying to show about the Book of Mome is like, look, I was in Dubai when this launched. I bought into the pre-sale. It launched at $1.13 billion market cap, and now it's at 141 million. It's down only unless you like somehow manage to catch these really small swings, right? Like you've got a swing opportunity here, I guess, swing opportunity here, I guess, the one here, but otherwise you're like just completely screwed. There's no opportunities at all. So I'm pretty anti meme coin pre-sales unless I know the team, or like if I've got a really good source that's bringing it to me or something like that. I'm like super anti. I think that you will lose your money straight up. So that's a Texas-sized NO for me on Pepe Dollar. Hey, look, it's going up. $583,000 in volume in the last 24 hours. It's crazy. Like I'm not even like dogging on Stray Dog right here or anything, but they're way bigger, and I think the volume is like what 200K. Yeah, it's 200K. So there's some crazy volume going on over here on this token. I'm not saying you should sell Stray Dog to buy Clash. I think that Clash is a higher risk play. Stray Dog is a more safe play, but you know there could be something that happens here with Clash for sure. Yeah, no problem, Skipping Stones. Happy to check it out. They're just too high risk. If you think it's super hyped up and you think that like it's going to do well, what I would do is I'd wait for that pre-sale to launch, and it's instantly going to moon, and then all those pre-sale buyers are instantly going to take profits, and then you might have yourself an entry. So that's what I would do. Like if we look at their tokenomics, let's see how it is. They don't have anything for their tokenomics. They just have a contract address with how many tokens they have. So I'm not sure why. Also, it's a weird number of tokens. 3.695 billion. Why? Does it say when it's supposed to launch? It doesn't say when it's supposed to launch. No idea. Is there an X? There's no social media either. This also does not say when they're going to launch. Why is there no social media? Am I missing something here? Does it? Doesn't say the price of the launch. October 13th, though. Why do they need so long? I mean, I guess they're launching a layer 2, but I guess what I have to say about that is what has SHIB's layer 2 done for them at all other than cause problems? They just got hacked a couple days ago. There was an exploit. It hasn't helped them at all. It hasn't helped SHIB anyways. If anything, it's probably given the SHIB team a ton of headaches. So I don't think that meme coins need entire chains. Like Ticker Bitcoin actually tried to do the same thing. They were going to do it on what was the name of that chain? Started with like a B. It was a bear. I don't even know how I'll find it. Let's see, all chains, or wait, all categories. I want layer ones. Where's the layer ones? There we go. Man, this chain like die already. Barrett chain. Man, Barrett chain's not doing hot at all. Yeah, that looks terrible. Goodness. So Barrett chain's like another layer 0. And Ticker Bitcoin was gonna, and I think it's still live. They launched like a casino and like their own like basically layer on Barrett chain and didn't do anything for them. In fact, Ticker Bitcoin's like at its lowest level it's been in a year, right? So these headaches and distractions from like, because now you have to build a real product. You have to keep users safe, right? You have to provide utility. You have to provide value. You have to provide liquidity. You have to do everything that engulfs having a chain. And unless you have serious backing and a serious treasury to be able to pull these things off, it's not going to happen. So yeah, I'm not very bullish on meme coins that are launching saying that they've got their own chain. I think it's a little crazy. Let's see here. Tazdi says, first Josh, thank you so much for the stray call. Amazing. Also, I'd look at Ski Mask Dog on base. Could be the next Toshi. 330K holder, super active, holding the floor at the moment. Congressman buying too. Yeah, I've talked about Ski Mask Dog quite a bit actually. I haven't looked at him in a while, but I do know Ski Dog. What I can't say it today. But I actually bought this in a show wallet when in the old show's iteration, like back when I had a co-host and stuff like that. We had it in the show wallet. I do see this doing well. The congressman, I forget what his name is, but I know who you're talking about. Let's see if we can find it on X. They probably shared it recently. But I do think it's a good project. It could continue to do well. It's one of the earlier meme coins on base too. Toshi's the first, but this one was around for a long time. That's what all this is right here. So it's one of the first. And obviously you can tell it's done decent. Mike Collins, that's who it is. Yeah. I guarantee we can find a post of him talking about it. We'll just do this. Yeah, but I've definitely seen him post about it. I don't know if we're going to find it. I'm not going to hunt super hard, but I've seen him post about it. And in the past, I actually brought up a tweet that he did about it and about buying and stuff. But I think it is kind of interesting that of all memes he gravitated towards was this one. But no, I'm bullish on it. I like it. I think it could do well, especially if base starts getting some more attention. That's the problem. It's like my favorite meme coin on base is Chuck. And like Chuck has been doing, it's recovering. It's been recovering and everything, but there's just not enough attention on base. That's all it really comes down to, is it needs more attention there. So right now, a lot of utility plays are doing really well on base. There's actually another one that I'm waiting to launch that I'm going to get in on. But Memecoins, not so hot. Like even Toshi hasn't had any like violent moves upwards, right? It's just kind of been flat, which it's okay. I guess it's kind of trending up here, but I called this move, man. I told you guys, Toshi, something big's coming. And then they just so happened to got listed on Coinbase like a week later. It was crazy. But yeah, I'm super bullish on Toshi. I think Ski Mask Dog will do well, though. Let's see here. Other than that, guys, though, I do think that is about all I have for you guys for the night. We got the robes back on. Meme season's coming back, and we're ready. The gains are here, and the gains are happening. If you caught Stray Dog, if you caught my tweet last night where I was talking about Clash, any of this other stuff, we are up multitudes. I've got other early contract addresses I'm looking to drop soon. So if you're not in the Telegram already, hop in there now because I will drop them when they happen. I will not make a video just for them. So you want to be in the Telegram and you want to enjoy these gains. So have your guys self a wonderful evening. If you got anything else you want me to check out, drop in the comments down below. Smash up the likes if you liked what you saw. Subscribe if you didn't. And we'll see you on the next video. Peace.